I started to cope in a lot of unhealthy ways. Avoidance and taking on a ton of projects and stuff to distract myself with, like starting a podcast, being like, hey, this will distract me from all my pain. And really just stressed me out even more to get professional help. And when you have kids in the mix of that, it makes it that much harder because you want to be strong for them and fight through it and be like, no, I can do it, I'm fine. I was not fine and I couldn't do it, and I'm glad that I got the help you have to do. There's no way you can sit in that much sadness all the time. If all I ever felt during that time was that intense feeling, I don't think I would have made it out alive. And there's a reason that when our brain experiences things like that, it has that shock. It allows us time to process it, so we're just not feeling absolutely all those feelings at once all the time. A few months, I just really started to get depressed, like really depressed. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't enjoy anything. I woke up and I immediately just felt like crap and I wanted to stay in bed all day. And it felt like bad things just kept happening to me. My grandpa passed away and a lot of other stuff happened. I'm not gonna get into details about everything that kind of led me down into such a dark place. But as if Landon passing away wasn't enough, just bad stuff happened, one thing after another, and I just felt like I couldn't get a break. Like, there's no way that things could get worse, and then they got worse every time. Hide it anymore, at least not to my family. My mom actually was the one to sit down and be like, we really think you need help, like more help than you're getting now. Because I was going to therapy once a week, but I kind of bounced around between a few therapists trying to find one that I liked. And in that, I wasn't really getting a ton of help. I was just kind of explaining my story to people. So I really wasn't getting the help I needed at the time. And I just needed way more help than I even thought. And I had thought about it. I had thought about going somewhere, like the place I went to. One of my close friends had actually just gone. He was addicted to Xanax, and everyone in his life was like, dude, you have a problem. And he went and got help. And so he was just getting back and I was talking to him about it. And I was like, that sounds really nice. Like, I feel like I need something like that. Like, I need to go somewhere and focus on me and my mental health. But I didn't even think that was an option for me with the kids and everything and YouTube and all my responsibilities. It just didn't seem realistic that I could just walk away from everything. So I kind of had the idea in the back of my head, but I was like, no, I can't right now. People need me. And then my mom, like I said, she was just like, we're all worried about you and you need help. And I was like, I could get help? Like, we can figure something out and I can go and actually get the help I need? And she was like, yeah, we can do that. Like, you need to take care of you. Because I really hadn't had any time between August and March to really take care of me. I took care of the kids and I jumped back into YouTube really fast and distracted the hell out of myself and just did whatever I can to not deal. But after my mom said something, I realized, yeah, it's time to take care of me. There, and the next day he wasn't, and then he was never there again. And so the last thing I wanted was for Colette to think I'm not coming back. So I sat down and explained to her that I'm gonna be back. I'm not going to the stars with Daddy. I'm here on Earth. I'm just somewhere else, but I'm coming back. And then I said goodbye to them and drove by myself to the treatment center. It was quite the road trip. I was really nervous just because I didn't know what to expect. It's really scary going into an environment like that with a ton of people that you don't know at all, who are all pretty mentally unwell, just like me, with a ton of doctors and therapists and all kinds of people. When I first got there, I spent 3 days in the med building, as they called it, which was more of your typical psychiatric hospital. There was rooms and everything was like made to be really safe so no one could hurt themselves or others. Around new people, anywhere, that people wouldn't like me. I mean, I didn't like me, so why would anyone else? Come to find that people did actually kind of like me, at least I think. I made a lot of friends there. A lot of genuine friends, some of which are probably watching this video right now. Hi guys, I miss you. And it felt so freeing to just be me. So hard. And I really just lost myself. I didn't know who I was, especially right after Landon died. I mean, even before that, but especially right after he passed away, I felt like no one and nothing. I felt like I had no identity. I can't even describe like how weird it felt. I felt like an empty shell. But in a way, I've come to learn that that's a beautiful thing to be, because now I could be whoever I actually really wanted to be and who I actually really am, like a blank canvas ready to be painted into a beautiful masterpiece of realness and rawness and vulnerability and just me. And on my assignment list was a letter to Landon, and I was really nervous to write that one, and I waited until like my last day because obviously that was the main thing that I was there to work on, and I felt like I had to like do the work before I could say what I wanted to say to him. And in a way that's kind of true, but I also think I was just really scared to write that. But I did. I wrote a letter to Landon and I read it in front of people. In regards to my grieving process, I feel like I got to move through a lot of the anger I was feeling, to say, how could he do this to me? Because to actually look at the situation and feel sympathy for him, it hurt. It just hurt too bad. Sympathy for him was there, but I didn't want to feel it. I just wanted to feel the anger. That's all that I felt like I was capable of feeling at the time. I want to hug him, and I kind of want to tell him that it's okay. And I can't do any of those things. And I miss him. And it's just so hard and so much more complex than anyone even knows. So bad to the point where there's actually conspiracy theories that I murdered him and then framed it as a suicide and called the cops. It's just so messed up. It's so messed up. And it really makes me want to not open up like this to you guys. And I feel like I need to explain myself for why I feel the way I feel and try and justify it to you guys that like, oh, I'm in shock, that's why I seem this way. And when at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to justify anything to anyone after what I've gone through. And you guys don't even know all of it. You don't even know everything I've gone through. Not even the half of it. So respecting his legacy and trying to act like he never even existed. I am grieving him privately. Just because you don't see it happening on the internet, just because I'm not talking about it all the time, doesn't mean it's not there and not something that I think about every single day. So that's where I'm at with that.